So I thought to myself, you know what? I want to be, I would love to teach. I had my DJ school, but I got offered to become a teacher, and that's where I'm currently now.
Nice.
Yeah, as a teacher, giving back. I teach at Marino, and I teach middle and high school, and it's basically 30 years of everything that I've done. The nugget or the treasure at Marino is that all the stuff I teach is stuff that I created, like stuff that I did, how I did it, tricks of the trade, the hidden secrets, and I made it into curriculum and lesson plans. So I always tell my students, you can't get this anywhere. I mean, a
Right.
lot of stuff I'm teaching you're not going to learn. Then probably people don't learn this until they go to college,
Right.
because I'm teaching high level. I just been able to make it to their age bracket, the way they think.
Right.
So they knew composition. I mean, these middle schools knowing composition, how to write storyboard, shot lists, lighting. They can set up a whole seventh grade can set up a whole sound
Nice.
system. Can do a sounds for rebel soldiers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's been very very rewarding. But I go admit, I'm a humble man. Teachers do not get paid what they
Right.
should.
Hey, what's up, gang? Welcome to Puka Pockets, my new show. I'm your host, Fuzzy Jardine. If you're local, pay attention and watch this show, because I'm going to bring it all off.
What's up, gang? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Puka Pockets podcast. Welcome to the show. I'm the host, Mr. Twinkle Toes. Nah, just joking.
Is that
This
Fred
fun-
Flintstone, Twinkle Toes?
The Twinkle Toes. No, my name's Fuzzy Jardine, and stoked to have you guys on board. Appreciate you guys watching the show. Today's guest is just amazing, amazing person. He had a big impact in my life when I was a youngster in my teenager years, I guess right after high school. Just was still trying to find out who I was. And, I wanted to get into the radio station. And shoot, I don't know how this came about, but I know one of my friends was telling me, hey man, this 104.3 has like interns and we should go check it out. And actually that's kind of where I met this guest of mine for today. We've met through I met him through working for the radio station 104.3, The Bomb, and it was so fun to be able to work for this guy and to be able to learn or meet the people that was involved, the whole system on how radio stations work. And just excited to have him on board, and welcome Spaz to Puka Pockets, bro.
All right, bro. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So yeah, I mean, just talk to me about where you're at right now in the stage of like we just kind of reconnected.
Yes, absolutely. Well, for people who don't know, I was in radio, and then I got into TV, and then I own a media company. I've done a lot of things, promoting clubs, DJing clubs in the 90s. 90s was I would feel was my prime per se. So I DJ'd all over the world. I mean, it was always my dream to be a DJ, and then it was always like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And I didn't let just being a DJ. I transformed many times in different ways, and I was coming down from my high of touring with all these national artists and touring, going all over the place, Philippines, Italy, and all kind of crazy stuff like that as Kutmaster Spaz. And then I got an opportunity to be a promotion director on this new station, 104.3, which actually was Extreme Radio, not The Bomb.
Oh, yeah,
But a
Extreme
lot of
Radio.
people went to The Bomb after, but
Right.
Extreme Radio. But at that time, I was promoting clubs, and I think out of the box. I always had this philosophy: when everybody zig, you zag. So everybody's doing this, you do something else. Because if you're always trying to follow the trend, or you're trying to follow in somebody's footsteps, you're always one step behind them.
Right.
Because you try to follow them. You got to be your own creator, your own, trailblazer per se. So they said, hey, we're going to do a new radio station. We're not going to be crazy. Like, the music going to be nuts, one extreme to another. I was like, oh, for real? It's like, yeah, we're going to play hip hop, rock, reggae,
Everything.
metal, ska. I was like, wow, that's like one extreme to another. Like, yes. Oh, we should call them Extreme Radio.
Yeah.
So it was Extreme Radio, and they brought me aboard as, not necessarily a DJ, was a promoter, a promotion director. And I wanted to I knew I needed help because this is a brand new station, and having a brand new station, you got to do a lot of promotions. Um, and so we did
Right.
crazy stuff, and we put the word out. And it was almost like an underground radio in the beginning because people didn't know about it. And then that's how I think you guys heard the radio. You guys heard about it, and you guys came up for the to try out or interview per
Yeah.
se. And of course, you just have that magnetism, you know what I mean? That you know how to talk, and we like that. We like people as personable. So of course, you meet the team, you became the extreme team, and I know me and you connected. We
Yeah.
we outside after that we did business together.
Yeah.
Legal stuff, the legal
Yeah,
stuff.
legal. It was legal. Yeah. It was definitely legal.
Yeah. So we did a lot of things together, and from then on, after radio, I said, "What's next?" So I did
Yeah.
TV. I did this and that for 15 years on
Wow.
OC16, and what's next?
Yeah.
I started winning awards for the TV show production. I had a great team, and so other people came with ideas. Hey, I guess idea for the show. At one point in time, we was producing 7 TV shows,
Wow.
and what's next? So, I had a DJ school. I had a magazine, this and that magazine, and then I was able to start a fashion magazine, Dysfunction, and it got bought out, and it's a magazine in England now and stuff like that. I don't know
Wow.
about now, but a lot of things. What's next? And then I said, growing up, I went through some stuff because I was normal, and then I got bullied because I went to special ed. Wrote a book.
Right.
What's next?
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, as I'm getting older, I'm not really touring anymore. Hawaii is my home, always will be. So I'm settling, I'm not going anywhere. What's next? And so I thought to myself that I've always been a mentor to people. I
Mhm.
mean, you know that, and
Right.
hundreds of people come back to me, and I don't even realize. I guess they listen to what I say, and they would tell me, "Oh yeah, I learned so much from you." I go, like, really? Like, I wasn't intentionally trying to teach you or mentor you. It just, watching me, being by me, DJs, promoters, videographers. I
Mhm.
don't even know how I affect them, but so I thought to myself, you know what? I want to be, I would love to teach. I had my DJ school, but I got offered to become a teacher, and that's where I'm currently now.
Nice.
Yeah, as a teacher, giving back. I teach at Marino, and I teach middle and high school, and it's basically 30 years of everything that I've done. So, the nugget or the treasure at Marino is that all the stuff I teach is stuff that I created, like stuff that I did, how I did it, the tricks of the trade, the hidden secrets, and I made into curriculum and lesson plans. So I always tell my students, you can't get this anywhere. I mean, a lot of stuff I'm teaching you're not going to learn. Then probably people don't learn this until they go to college.
Right.
Because I'm teaching high level. I just been able to make it to their age bracket, the way they think.
Right.
So they knew composition. I mean, these middle schools knowing composition, how to write storyboard, shot lists, lighting. They can set up a whole 7th grader can set up a whole
Nice.
sound system. Can do a sounds for rebel soldiers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's what I've been doing, and it's been very, very rewarding. But I go admit, I'm a humble man. Teachers do not get paid what they
Right.
should, but it's very humbling because it's the
Right.
most rewarding thing I've ever done in my path. I've always, what's next? What's next? And I don't know what's next. I mean, I know I'm gonna say that in a couple of years. Okay, what's next?
What's
But
next?
teaching has definitely, I've always done talks, drug-free talks and tobacco-free talks, and going to project grads and doing the circle of friends. And
Mhm.
I have youth that comes back to me later in their adult years said, "Oh, you came to my school 20 years ago and it made a difference. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then you talked about following your passion. I did. I own my own business. I have my own company." I just get little props like that here and there. But now every day I get to be the light for my students. I get to help them find their voice, help them find their passion. So
Right.
it's very, very rewarding.
Man, this is such a blessing to have you on board, because on the show, because like I also looked up to you too, right? And like with you having your shows, I remember the MySpace TV Jams or
Oh,
something
my
like
my TV
that,
jams, yeah,
right?
one of the
Uh,
first shows on
it
OC60.
was, and I met, was it Ty? Was it
Yeah,
Ty?
Ty Okumar. Wow, you got a good
Ty,
memory. Yes.
and I looked up to you and I wanted to be part of the show, but I guess my path went a different
Hmm.
direction, and I went away for a little while, and I know knew that,
Yes,
like
I know your story.
I went to visit Uncle Sam.
Oh, is that what you call
I don't
it?
know. I went away to for a little while, right? Quiet time. Make sure what I did was had the time to rethink and reboot myself. And when I came back, you were always on my mind, because in me, I always wanted to be an actor or some type of personality, kind of similar to what you were doing, but my thing was more of trying to give back to my community. So when I did come out, I think I reached out to you,
Yeah.
and at that time, I think you wasn't at Marinol. You
No, I
were
was at St. Louis. I
right,
was at St. Louis, and I just started my path of teaching, and it was a lot because I'm creating curriculum.
right,
Like I said, I don't go to the textbook, I don't go to Google. I was like, okay, I remember 3 point lighting, and I write down. I said, okay, but this isn't seventh graders, some high school. This person who knows nothing. Some don't, so I gotta make it
right.
interesting for them. So yeah, I wasn't ready at that
But I
time.
remember you had before. I think you had like on DJ school, right? You had like a where you went and you was teaching people how
Yes,
to
that was in 2000, and it was the first DJ scratch school in the world. And actually, DJ Qbert, the world famous DJ Qbert, was the one that says, "I've been all over the world. There's no school that teaches scratch." At the time, it was just
right,
mixing. So yeah, I had a DJ school. That's why I said that's how I started writing, learn how to write curriculum and stuff
right,
like that. Yeah, so I taught anybody 10 years of age and up how to scratch, because that was my thing, Cutmaster. So I
right,
taught them how to scratch, and Hubert said, this is amazing. And he actually wanted to partner with me. He actually wanted to um, do a school together. It was going to be Scratch University. And he was going to go big, invest the money, him and actually Yoga Frog. But then this thing called YouTube, and he goes, wait,
yoga
I
frog.
don't have to have a physical establishment. We can sell the videos or stuff like that. So there was no need. I mean,
Right.
I mean, it's smart to me. And he did do Scratch University, and so that was. But yeah, at one point in time, he just loved the concept, and we were going to go in partnership together to do stuff. But yeah, I mean, coach, you have been tracking me.
No, I mean I've been I really have good memory, and yeah, I mean when I came home, I knew I needed to get in touch with you, because I wanted to put together something to be an inspiration for others, and I reached out to you. I think I reached out to another guy, Ikaika Kimura.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I reached out to him because he was looking for somebody to kind of collaborate, help him fix his house, and create a real estate TV show. And yeah, so that's like how I got in touch with
Okay.
with him. And then when I got in touch with you, I guess timing just wasn't there. But like we just recently reconnected,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, I think now is the time, or the timing is kind of coming to where why I'm putting together
Yeah.
together a Puka Pockets podcast
Mm-hmm.
show, a YouTube channel to be inspiration, and then bring on guests like yourself to show that you come from humble beginnings. You put in the work, you put in the time, and became successful as a DJ. Now you're giving back to our community through becoming a teacher, man. That's a humble position, and to me, it's honorable to be able to call yourself a teacher, and that's what I've been doing lately as well. I became a real estate coach, and I teach real estate investing here in Hawaii with another partner,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, tell us. I mean, I really don't know much about like your upbringing, where you grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about that.
Well, I'm from Kaneohe, east side, windward side of
Yes,
Oahu. And we lived in a small community. Kapunahala School is what I went to. And, It was, I mean, it was old. I mean, it was old school because it was the '70s, and so you could walk on the streets, and you went home when the street lights went on and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And I played from 5 years old to 9 years old. I used to have sleepovers, go birthday parties at birthday parties backyard at Pizza Hut or McDonald's, um, and stuff like that. Yeah, back in the day, they used to have birthday packages at McDonald's. Anyway, dating myself. And then and a lot of people don't know this either. So I had a Hawaiian Filipino dad. He was big, stocky, and a Haole mom. So I'm quarter Hawaiian, quarter Filipino, half Caucasian. My brother, he pulled my dad's color. So he's tan. He's pulled my mom's built tall. So he's tall, dark, and I'm the stocky Haole boy.
Hey, what's up, gang? I hope you guys like the show. I just wanted to thank Bomber Eyewear for being sponsor on the Puka Pockets podcast. So if you want to check out Bomber Eyewear, if you know the brand, you don't know the brand, just check us out. Get the promo code called Aloha20 and sponsor your boy Fuzzy. Let's go. Yeah.
So, um, when I turned 9, I started falling back in school, and so they threw me into special ed. Now you gotta understand, at that time they didn't have a program for special ed. They didn't. The teachers weren't educated on how to teach kids with different disabilities, learning disabilities. There was, social disabled,
Mhm.
mentally, physically handicapped, but that's that in between, which was us. They didn't know what to do with us, so had 6 of us, had about 7, had me plus 6 that they threw in a room. Now they took a room that had the physically and mentally handicapped because that's where they had the money, because they gotta get money. So on my certificate, my education certificate, it says mentally
Right.
retardation. And so they threw us in this class that had 2 doors. They put a bookcase at the physically, mentally, or now as they say, socially disabled students, and they had 7 of us on the table.
Wow.
And so all the kids that were around my neighborhood started teasing me because everybody else got bussed in from Kahalu, Kahuku, Kailua,
Mhm.
Kahuku even, because they had the short yellow bus, so they'd bus them in. So when they would leave early in the morning and when they would come home, I think a lot of their people thought they were in private school or something. They would come in hell. So they got to play with their friends, but I lived in the neighborhood, so kids knew I was in the, as they say, mental class, and they started teasing me, putting me down, and calling me fat, bubblehead, spaz, Holly boy, and all this kind of stuff. So, at an early age, at 9 years old, I basically got exiled. I got, put down, and I wasn't even at one point in time allowed to walk on the same side of the street. Like they just didn't want me. I stopped
Right.
getting invited, and it's sad because it wasn't necessarily even the kids. We young. It
Right.
was the parents telling, "Hey, hang around that boy. You can come like that." Like my disability was contagious, so they would like not. Oh, I can't hang around you. My dad said, like,
Crazy,
oh,
right?
yeah. So I got depressed. I got even more big and stuff. Like I didn't know what was wrong. I mean, they didn't even know. They didn't know how to diagnose at that time. They just know that this kid was running around. He reads slow. He writes slow. He falling down, like he walking. He tripping over his own 2 feet and stuff like that. So um, later they found out what it was, but it was a rough, man. I got bullied. I got picked on, and it lasted all the way through high school. And finally they realized what I had, which is dyslexia,
Hmm.
um, ADHD. So I'm hyper. I see words and numbers backwards. And this other one was called dyspraxia, which is I cannot gauge things. So like when I grab a cup, I think it's further than it is, and I knock them down, or I
Oh
walk my
shoot!
yeah. I cannot gauge.
Wow.
That's why sometimes even I drive, man. I'm like, oh, it's a speed bump. Oh no, it's on curb,
Oh.
because I just kind of gauge. But
Mhm.
it's just. I mean, I had to go occupational therapy (OT) to learn my left from my
Mhm.
right. Like even now, I got to think, okay, which is on my left? It's just, and I didn't realize it was actually a real thing, dyspraxia, dyslexia, and ADHD. So I learned to cope with it and deal with it, and I was able to work hard, and I had to what takes someone one time to do, like to read a book. I have to read the book 3 times to understand it,
Wow.
and so I had to work 3 times as hard. But at that time I was like, oh man, I can't get out of this hole. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. But it paid off because I now have this mentality that I'm the hardest working person in the room. I Time is valuable. I always tell all my students early is on time is late. You got to show up,
Right.
and do the work. I always tell people put your 110%. And that's just because I had to. I was on fighter. I had to fight. I had to, like I said, I had to read one book 3 times. You know how hard that is to do your homework 3 times.
Right.
Oh, you did them, we'll do them again. You did them wrong. You know what I mean? And it's because I couldn't understand it. And so I worked really hard. And once they found out I was dyslexic and I could work through it. And then for ADHD, they gave me Ritalin. I had to take medicine. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I just was at middle school, it was in the cloudy, but by at sophomore year, I was reading at a 6th grade level, but with hard work, understanding, and a care of teachers. I think
Right.
that's why I'm so proud to be a teacher, because it was teachers that made a difference in my life, teachers that cared.
Right.
By my senior year, I was reading at 12th grade level, and I ended up going to college.
Nice. Good for you,
I
man.
had to work that out and work hard, which is why I had to tell my story. And that's what the book Sped
Yeah.
to Success is all about. It's a play on words, special ed, they call it
Right.
Sped to Success, because talking about
I know you've got a couple cool stories in here. I mean, you even talked about the girl that you
Oh.
fell in love with, right? I mean, I like that story.
Well,
and,
there's
a couple other ones
the
that
prom one, people trip
Yeah.
because I asked 3 girls to prom, and
Right.
they all said no. Well, the first one was like, oh no, like, oh, you nails, you know what I mean? But then the second one was said she had a family reunion or some
Right.
kind of excuse. And then the third one said she no more money, and I was like, "Oh, I'll pay, I'll
Yeah.
pay." You know what I mean? Which kind of sounds messed up now. Pay for a date. I mean, it sounds familiar. But the one that said she didn't have money, I saw pictures came back. She went to a Damien prom, so she had money.
Right.
She just didn't want to go with me. She should have just told me. The second girl that told me she had family reunion, her friend said, that's not true.
Right.
And so that's the lesson in that, is that honesty is the best policy. It might hurt at the time, but the
Right.
truth will set you free, because I actually respected the girl who said, oh, you nails, because
Right.
at least she was upfront. But it's funny, the reason I'm bringing the story is because girl number 2 reached out to me on Facebook. She goes, am I girl number 2? Or I think it's good. And she was like, I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, you know what? Can I have coffee with you? I was like, oh, okay. I gotta explain. And I was a junior and she was a freshman. And there was a unreal circumstances on why she didn't. And when she told me, I felt so bad. And like I said, in my old age, I still learning.
Right.
Her father took her life. Her father took his life.
Oh man.
Like less than a year before I asked her, so she didn't know where she's going.
Yeah, she was in the right
and
place.
she was young and she had low self-esteem. So it wasn't like, oh, I don't like you, I don't want to tell you. She just was, and I felt so bad. And it took years and understanding. So a lesson I learned years later is, you don't know what people are
Yeah.
going through. You just don't know, and they have reasons. And I was I felt bad. I almost started tearing up. I felt
Yeah.
horrible inside. And she goes, no, I didn't want to tell you this because I wanted to make you feel bad. I just wanted you to know, because it's, you wrote a book about it.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of the bullies that are in there, I changed their name, but
Yeah.
they probably know who they are.
And then you also talk about, how we all grow up, right? Our parents try to mold us into being someone we don't want to be.
Yeah. And that's been my platform. Of course, anti-bullying, because I was bullied. Anti-bullying my first, but finding and following your passion.
Mhm.
And that's what it's about, because like you said, a lot of parents want their kid, old school. Oh, you're gonna go school in college and you're gonna be a lawyer, or you're gonna be a doctor, because that's what makes a lot of money. But I tell my students that money isn't success.
Right.
Finding and following your passion, living your passion, that's a true success. Because believe me, I know dentists who live in Kahala, get 3 cars, but they're on a substance.
Right.
They're fooling around their wife. They don't know where they can't find happiness, because they're not happy being what they're doing.
Right.
Their parents told them to be a dentist. You know what I mean? So they're not happy.
Mhm.
I know lawyers that got to do drugs because they so unhappy. You know what I mean? And it's because yeah, they're making plenty of money, but that don't mean nothing. They get 3 cars in a drug,
Right.
beautiful wife, beautiful family, big house, but they're unhappy because they didn't find a passion. Then you find somebody who live simple, live in Kaneohe or live in the country, living their passions, surfing, doing stuff on their own time,
Right.
but just living life, and they're the most happiest. They don't need drugs. Life is their drug, natural high. So I try to teach my students that. I try to tell them, find your passion,
Right.
and then make a plan, yeah, and dream big.
I think that's with hearing your stories is an inspiration to many and myself on how you were able to overcome and use that, well, like that bullying, and prove everybody wrong that you could be a successful in whatever you're doing. And man, it's showing, like
Well, you gotta be. It was a hard work, man. It was a trust. So I've had a few people. I guess I don't know what it is, the way I look or how I hold myself, that they think that I was born to this. Like I was born rich.
Mhm.
Like I don't think they know it's from Kaneohe. It was middle low class. One point in time, I had food stamps. You know what I mean? Which is EBT now. Um, I was a struggle, and that's the first thing when I found my passion, which was DJing, and it happened at a dance. It was a all school dance, so you know I didn't have anybody to dance with, but the DJ. I was 10 years old. I remember I was fifth grade, my second year in special ed, and the DJ was playing the music, and I watched how he controlled the room with emotion. He would play hip hop, and everybody like, oh, and he play rock music, everybody rocking out, jumping around, just going nuts, and then he play slow music, everybody in his mood. I was like, wow, this guy makes people feel a certain way. That's what I want to be. I want to be a DJ. So I ran home, told my mom, I know what I'm gonna be. 10 years old, I'm gonna be a DJ. And she said, okay, we need more money. I know that take equipment and stuff like that. How you can get your equipment? Well, what do you mean? She's like, you have a plan. You got a plan because I'm not gonna just go on and buy. And at that time, we had Radio Shack, which is like Best Buy, what Best Buy is, and they had turntables and mixers. So the only job I could get at 10 years old was deliver newspaper, and that's where it started. I mean, I got a job, and my plan was I was gonna make so much money, and I planned it out. And 10 years old, I delivered newspaper, and because I had that mentality of working hard, I was the hardest working person, and I became carrier of the year 2 years in a row. And then the director of the carrier said, okay, your performance, your quotas of what you hit. I mean, you're not just doing one route, you're doing 5 routes. Like I say, why we stop at one? What's next? So I did 5 routes, and all my routes was all like 100%. They all paying, no complaints. It's just the whole thing. They said, you here, the next carrier is down here. Like nobody can touch you. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, yeah, we cannot make you carrier of the year. I go, wait, there's no rule in these books. Like there's no book. I'm just telling you, we got to give other people a chance. So fairness is also another thing, because that was hard to swallow. It's like I getting punished for giving 110%. Like it's not fair.
Right.
Like I work hard, but because everybody else can't keep up, I got to give them a chance. And
Yeah.
here, take my crown. Because you cannot. I cannot say that. I mean, we never have internet. I can't go on. Post anything. But it's just like, wow, you're not gonna. I'm now out of the running because nobody can touch me. You're
Right.
And I mean, so it started there with the fairness. And so anyway, when I got 15, I could get a worker's permit. My first real job was Zippies. I credit them because I learned how to be professional and how to
Mhm.
dress and being on time and stuff like that. Steam clean carpets, and by the time I was 60, and meanwhile I would get my old dad's record player and practice, and I could buy a little bit of equipment with my birthday money. But by the time I was 16, I'd saved from 10 years to 16, in 6 years I'd saved 10 grand.
Wow.
And I know that don't sound like a lot to
No.
people now, but that's like 100 grand now. You know what I mean? So I had saved 10 grand, and I went out and bought equipment. So at 16 years old, I had my own mobile DJ company. As a junior in high school, I had my own mobile company.
Mean.
But nobody knew who I was, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's
So
how
back-
I became a marketing person.
So yeah, that's the thing. Like back in the day, how was it only radio stations or like word of mouth to get,
So that's how I learned about marketing. I went to the library. I don't know if you guys know what that is because you get Google now, but and there's a book called Guerrilla Marketing.
Wow.
And guerrilla marketing is how they now call it non-traditional advertising, NTA,
Right.
and you figure out ways, because you know more money, how you can do it. So I would I would make flyers, and we never have computers, so I literally had to look like a ransom note, bro, to come see Kutmaster Spaz. And my friends' parents went out to Vegas, and they left the house, and I said, we're throwing a party. So I wasn't trying to make money. I just wanted to get my name out there. So
Right.
I made flyers, I made mixtapes, and I would just give them out. Um, I would volunteer my time to DJ for free.
Yeah.
Anything. You know, graduation party, I come DJ for free. In fact, my first gig was 16. I remember, never forget her name is Carol Kanai, and it was her
Carol
16th,
Kanai. Yes.
16th birthday. And I saw DJ for free because I just wanted people to know. Remember, I'm special ed. We still segregated. So I DJ'd her. That was my first real gig DJing for my classmates and stuff like that. And I didn't know about contracts at the time. I didn't know about even getting paid. I just wanted to DJ. So the payment was a plate lunch. Like, she paid me with a dinner plate. And I was
Nice.
grateful for it because I didn't expect nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would have brought my own food, but you know, she gave me a plate, and I appreciate it. I remember that was my first payment, was a plate lunch or plate dinner. And I was just glad she gave me the opportunity to DJ at her party. She probably don't even remember, but I know exactly when and where and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just non-traditional, putting yourself out there. I don't think people understand that nowadays. They think that instant, they want instant, so they don't understand about putting in the work. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, putting the extra 10%, being the hardest person
Right.
working in the room. You know, and I hope I'm gonna get hate on you know this, but you know, I hear the generation say that, oh, you know, I punch in at 8 o'clock, I punch out at 5 o'clock. That's it. I'm done. I don't do no work. But that don't make you the hardest person working in the room. No, don't get me wrong. I understand if you're working for a big corporate and that's your deal. But if you trying to build and follow your passion, you got to put in the work. You got to
Right.
put in the 10% difference. Everybody's putting 100% in. You got to put 10% more than they do.
Right.
So that's 110%. You got to be there on time. Come early, leave late.
Right.
Under promise, over deliver. That's just how you gotta do it if you want to follow your passion. Again, don't get me wrong. If you're working for a corporate that they're not putting more time is not going to get you more
No,
pay,
no.
then I understand. But in this business, you like being a DJ. Bro, no, just think because you're great and you can mix good or you get plenty of followers, you got to get out there. You got to
Right.
put yes, you're not going to get paid. I'm sorry. You gotta take it. I will volunteer my time just to get out there,
Yeah.
give back, you know, make mixes, put it up for link, you know, put it in your, you know, in your bio here. Here's a free link. This is
Right.
what I do. But that's gonna take time because you gotta
Right.
plan out your mixes.
From like what then to now, like what is the huge difference, right, with social media platforms?
Social
and-
media, that's the huge monster. That is, people don't know. Like, I literally used to hit the ground. I used to go and put like myself. I didn't have a crew, a team, or peeps, or you know, I couldn't hit on button.
You wore
So
all the hats.
I did everything. I did all the hats. That's why I can teach what I teach, because I did everything. You know, making the graphic design, going on my bike, putting flyers on the windshields. You know what I mean? Talking to people. I had to force myself. I don't like talking. You know what I mean? People don't know this, but the first 5 years of my life, my dad only spoke pidgin. I thought that's how you spoke.
Yeah.
I teach myself to speak regular English. I spoke pidgin, so people laugh at me because I drive in, and when I go over the Liki or coming down the Pully and going to Kaneohe, all of a sudden I start talking pidgin. Like, what the heck just happened to Spaz? Well, it's just how I really talk all the time. But I can't speak like that because I got to be able to articulate what I'm saying, and nothing wrong about pidgin. But I got to be able to speak clear and sound like, hey, this is someone I like to see, you know?
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I know I read my audience, and my Kaneohe boy come out when it needs to, but the difference is the internet. People don't realize how they take it for granted, but I had to bust butt, man. I had to, you know, I had to be creative. I would call up the bus and tell them, hey, how much to get ads? And they go, what do you mean? I go, I like put an ad in the bus. They go, oh, I don't know. We don't have rate sheets. So we figured it out, and it was cheap because it was like nobody did that. So I put ads in the bus. People don't notice, and you know what I mean? And but I was one of the first promoters in Hawaii, club promoters. There's all concerts. Uncle Tom Moffat was the huge. He always brought down everybody. I mean, Elvis, all that kind of stuff. But I was DJing at a club for a long time, and back in the days, in the '80s and '90s, the clubs would hire a promotion director. You don't have like how they promoters now. They didn't do that, but a lot of them did not think out of the box, or they got paid no matter what. They got paid their salary no matter the club was packed or empty. So I thought to myself, I talked to myself, and I had another guy who like minded like me, this guy Mordecai, and I said, hey, what if we go to a club and we say, hey, we keep the door, you keep the bar, and he goes, but how they gonna go for that? I said, and then we came up with bar guarantee. So we went to an empty club in Pro City, and it was called Reenies. And the owners, we went there on a Saturday to do reconnaissance, and was 80 people.
Wow.
And the place hold like 400 or 500. It was on big. It's like behind in the industrial area, plenty parking because at night on the weekend empty. So plenty parking, big club, but 80 people, and 80 people in a place that's hold 400 or 500. It's like look like small crowd. So went up to owners, introduced ourselves, say, hey, we want to throw a Saturday hip hop party. We will pay for the entertainment, the DJs, the MCs. We'll pay. We're going to do dance contests. We'll pay for the money. We'll pay for the advertising. We're going to buy radio and flyers. And so, and they're like, okay. I said, all we like do, we like keep the door, and you guys keep the bar. And they go, okay. And I said, we'll do a bar guarantee. And they're like, what's a bar guarantee? I said, what do you make on a Saturday night? Not gonna lie, bro. Saturday night, make barely 500 bucks.
Oh, bro, right there. Here's 500.
So I told him, we told him, hey, okay, if you don't make $500, we'll pay the difference. Like, we'll do our promotion. Let's say you only make 300, we'll pay the difference. We'll give you 200. Let's say you make 0, we'll pay you the 500 for the bar. But whatever you make at the bar and your tips and all, that's all yours. So we get our door girl to run the door, and you get your bar. And so we started hitting, and like I said, old school guerrilla marketing. We went down to Alamana Beach Park, get the permit, set up speakers. You have a permit for like for like play music and stuff like that, and start playing music for free, and then giving out tapes and giving out mixtapes. And we couldn't afford radio yet.
Right.
So in the mixtapes, they get the tapes for free. Had the commercial. I made my own commercial. Come down to House Record, Cutmaster Spaz, Doc Rock, JP, and DJ Good Vibe. Like so you listen to this music. One time the beat come in and this guy talking, yo, come check this out, let's go. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And you gotta understand about funny, they call them niche now, your niche market. But one group that wasn't being taken care of at that time was military. Like we got how much bases we got in here?
Plenty.
And then so I don't know at that time, but they had issues. I guess the military locals didn't get along.
They don't get along.
So they only make clubs on the military base. But the guy's like, I've been on this base all week or even month. I like get out.
Right.
So I knew when they got paid, and we would do big promotions, and I would welcome military. I say, hey, you serve our country. We're giving you a discount. We're going to take care of you guys. So boom, first Saturday night, 300.
Oh.
Next Saturday night, 400. Next Saturday night, 500. Every Saturday after that for a whole year, 700.
Wow.
And we got the owners at that time was cool. They said we can have 18 and over. Even though the drinking law was 21 at that time, they said, we'll let you have 18. I said, because, a lot of girls not of age, but we're going to ban the guys that's 21, you know what I mean? And the ones that not banned, they can't drink. So what we did is that, and it didn't benefit the bar, but this was so new, is we charged $20 for 18 to 20. They got to pay $20, and 21 up pay $10. So if you do the math, it's about 10 grand a night.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah.
Cash. Yeah. At the door, because we're not taking credit cards. You got to give cash to get in. So that's when we created and we called it House Wrecker, and we play hip hop, and we got the Recca team. So we had a bunch of girls that would pass out flyers. So we had a door girl, started getting the hottest hip hop DJs to play. We did every trend at that time. There was this dance called the Butterfly. We did we had the Tootsie Roll contest. We did the rodeo contest. All these '90s booty songs. We did booty contests. We did it all. And then we became the number one hip hop club, pretty much. Reni's nightclub in Pro City. If you was here in the '90s, you would remember. I think we ran for '92 to '94, or maybe about '93, '94. But then Tony came through, MC Hammer came through, Ice Cube came through.
Everybody was
when they
coming
came through. Where are we going?
Right.
You know what I mean? The clubs in Waikiki wasn't playing the hip hop. Like I said, they wasn't. The hip hop was like, oh, it's gangster music. I mean, Sillies would play a bit, but so small, and it would always end up in fights.
Right.
Sillies nightclub, Hawaii's coolest local
Man,
fight
this
spot.
is killer information you telling, bro.
I don't know. I'm getting in trouble.
This is like some.
I get so.
Hey, if you like what you see, guys, I have a mentorship program called the Hui Mastermind. I have a partner named Zasha Smith, where we take our students through a 4-week mastermind, 2 calls a week. We also have a 2-day live event where we walk you through our projects that we're going through, how to find deals, fund deals. We show you our team, and we also take you through a 2-day live event, and we show you the process from the start to the finish. First day is on Oahu, and the second day is on the Big Island. We also put you on a lifetime Facebook private group so that you can network with other students, and you will also have connection with Zasha and I, who are local real estate investors right here in Hawaii. So if you're interested in getting involved with the real estate industry, just message me below and let's get you going. Aloha.
Yeah, so I mean, Sillies was a place, but always fighting because, you know what I mean?
Locals and military never get along.
And it's just a disconnect, at that time. The locals felt that they were being, the military just wanted to have a good time, hang out, go have a good time. But you got to have respect. And they didn't have the respect when they went to the house. So, all the Usos, all the bouncers, you say, I mean, crazy stuff. Like Bobby Brown came in his 2 Suzuki rented Jeeps. The bouncers came in, his security came in acting like they were pushing people. The bouncer like, hey, you are a guest, but no, you don't own this place. Don't act like that. And so they got into a fight, and then they flip over his Jeep. The Usos, I don't know which one was. I don't know if it was Thor, but they flipped the Jeep like, whoa, this is nuts. So every time we get a fight, so they kind of knew that, okay, we shouldn't go there because we end up trouble. But our place, I actually hired military to be, because they know how to speak the language. So guys who was military say, hey, on the weekend, let me extra $200, come be on bouncer security. So little things like that. Like we got to know how to speak, they know how to speak to them. Like, when they act the fool, like, dude, bro, I'm from East Coast too. You know what I mean? I mean, the guys we hired, they knew how to speak, and to their people. Hey, I'm from West Coast, so we wouldn't have trouble. We wouldn't have no, East West Coast stuff going on in there. It was all mellow, and it was a good time. Yeah, 700 plus people. Wow. And I made bank, but it happened so fast. I didn't have a bookkeeper or CPA. What is that?
Enjoying life, though, right?
Enjoying life. I was of cash. I mean, I remember my girlfriend, I bought her car, like I tricked out her car, cash, bro. Let's put a stereo system this week. How much? 2,000? Hang on. Bro, I swear, I think everybody thought I was a drug dealer.
Oh, classic. And then after that, like, where did you go? Like,
so, again, I was on high because I just, my Kutmaster Spaz, making cash as a promoter. And then one guy told me, hey, you gotta go legit. I go, I am legit. I'm too legit to quit. And he's like, no, like, you gotta claim taxes. I'm like, why? He's like, so in your office, you have a great model, your business model, how you do things, your philosophy. You could make bank, bro. Like, you making thousands, 100,000s, you can make millions. I was like, So first thing I went into a CPA. Remember, I'm making $10,000 a night almost. You know what I mean? Like, 30 grand a month. So the CPA, what I got to say? Well, you got to register your business. Well, what is that? You got to open a business. I don't know.
You're right. You don't know.
You know what I mean? So I started my business, my escort app, and I registered a business, and they're like, "Whoa, oh, so how much do you make?" So I was like, "Yeah, let me just go modest. I made 120 grand, which
Yeah.
I didn't make 120 grand. Let's quadruple that." Anyway, um, she goes, "Oh, you owe 20,000." I, okay, like, oh, and one of the club owners was embezzling money.
Oh
So
goodness.
right when I did that, it was a perfect storm. So came to the club, big lock on the door. No more. Done.
Wow.
Apparently the that owner also handled a lot of bills. Didn't pay rent for 3 months. Didn't pay the liquor companies. You invoice or 3 months. So they owe hundreds of thousands of dollars for rent because $30,000 a month. They pay
Right.
for 3 months. So the landlord put the chain on the door. Holy moly! My dad passes away the next week.
What?
Oh, what the heck? My fiance was like, it's not for me. I
Wow.
was engaged by the time. Like, what? So I went from living high to having, support from my girlfriend, friends, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we used to go and roll into Zippy's 10 deep. And, I didn't understand about money. So I would act stupid.
Right.
Like, I'll go at 4 o'clock in the morning and I tell the waitress, collect everybody's check in here. I'm buying.
Wow.
I buy everybody breakfast. Like, people I don't even know. I just like buy them. So the bill will be $800. Here's 1,000.
Right.
Boom. Tip out years, what I mean, stuff like that. Just doing stuff like that. So I wasn't saving money. I was just blowing money. So after my dad died, the club closed and my fiance left me. I think I had like 7 grand. I had blown everything, but I didn't realize I was buying,
Wow.
tricking out my girlfriend's car, buying games, paying all the bills, playing, spending. I mean, I'd be going call. Oh, we off tonight, Sunday. Hey, anybody like a movie? Boom, 10 people there.
Let's go.
But Spaz playing. Oh, one night with my friends, $500. It's nothing. I'll make that. Whew, hard, man. My dad died.
Yeah.
I don't want. I was at the club with my money maker. I was off the radio. I wasn't in radio anymore. I wasn't touring. I was just doing this, so I had to move back home.
Mhm.
It worked out that part because I could be there for my mom,
Mhm.
but it was humbling because I like movies. Oh, I like movies. No, nobody. What happened? What happened to all these people that was around
Those
me
your
when I had
friends,
money?
right?
What happened to
Yeah.
my friends?
Yeah.
It's kind of like your story.
Yeah.
You kind of, you know what I mean? When you
Oh,
live
they're
high,
around. Yeah.
oh, you think everybody your friends. You think they're your friends, but I was like, wow, this is real, man. Like, nobody answering, nobody, just a few people came to my dad's funeral, and you
Right.
don't go to a funeral for the person that's in the coffin. You go for that
The
family,
family.
that friend. And only had a few people. I mean, what happened to my people used to go movies all the time with me.
Right.
So back again, man, I felt like I was 9 years old again, being bullied, but it was just depression, not bully, but I just felt, wow, lesson. I didn't steward my money good. I didn't keep a good relationship, you know. And my ex fiance, she was right because she said, you know what, this is not the life I want.
Right.
Like, nobody cheating on anybody, nothing like that. No substance or anything like that. No, abuse. It's just, he said, this is not what I want, and
Right.
I respect her to this day for that. That she just said, you have a dream, you have a passion. I like fight against that, and
Right.
I want something. I like a regular guy. And she first at that time, I didn't have girls flocking around me, but then
Right.
she just didn't want to have to worry and all this kind of stuff. So, I respect her for that. So I remember, man, 1995, man, was a horrible year because that's when I was in my lowest. I wasn't in radio. I had no job. I was living in my mom's place, just trying to dig myself out, and I had to start all over again. I let myself go in health. I was huge, man. I mean, I still was huge, but I was, almost 300 pounds.
Mm.
Out of shape because eating chili every 4 o'clock in the morning, or breakfast every night.
Yep.
Being in the clubs, I let myself go. So I started physical, man. My first thing was just, okay, I gotta work on my body. My body's my tempo. This is my machine. So I mean, literally, I could just barely walk up the block. I was that big and out of health. So I
Hmm.
started the block, 2 blocks, then started jogging, started 3 blocks. Next thing I know, I could, jog 3 miles, with a trash bag on, started losing weight, um, and just getting practicing my craft. And once you believe in yourself and you start doing something, start with your body, getting your body right. You know what I mean? Um, God, universe, whatever you
Right.
believe in falls into place. And then I got on call from, a old program director, Jamie Hyatt, that I had worked with. He
Jimmy
says,
Hyatt.
"Hey, um, I'm at KQ&Q right now. We're looking for mixers. You still doing that?" Heck yeah. So, I don't think he realized, but I hadn't been working, so
Right.
I started KQ&Q, and then started DJing clubs again. Um, Lost weight, and then I started, this thing started happening. I started getting more gigs, bringing my brand up again, and then 2000s I got an opportunity to do TV show,
Nice.
OC16, this and
Right.
that, and just Leanne, uh, Killian at OC16, and just building my brand. And
Yeah, I mean, you had one of the longest shows,
yeah, 15 years. I mean, don't get me wrong. The brothers, Tiny, still
right?
around, all that stuff. But I mean, we was going strong, and it was such an honor
Hmm.
to be there, because it was good people, and we got recognized. We got
Right.
show, producer of the year award, and all kind of different awards. And it was such a good thing. It opened OC16, really helped me learn about the media side,
Hmm.
because I was on the DJ business. I could do promoting, marketing, because I knew guerrilla marketing, brand myself and my clubs. Um, I knew, of course, DJing, understanding about the logistics, your character, about being on time. But being an OC16, I learned how to do uh, sales and marketing. And don't get me wrong, promoting and sales and marketing is a little different. You know what I mean? You got to know how to sell a product. And
Right.
if you look at it this way, you're selling air. You're selling something that doesn't exist. It's not like if I sell you this book, hey, this book is this, but I'm selling you on commercial on something that might get you business, might get
Right.
you return on your investment. So it's a whole different thing when you're selling advertising.
Right.
So, because there's no guarantee. You
Yeah,
cannot
I mean
guarantee
that
somebody.
I'm pretty sure that you know the experiences that you had from the show of all those years, you met a lot of people. You probably grew from that.
Hmm. Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, there's key people that, like. I mean, I know you always credit me and stuff like that. And I appreciate that, man. I really do, because, you're that person that took some of what I gave. But there is key people, like Jimmy the Geek.
Yeah.
Uh, he's my brother from another mother. Because when we met, he was the geek, I was a spaz, and
Right.
it's like,
And
we
their radio station was above or in the same room in Hawaii Kai with my mom was in the dentist office, and
Hawaii
they
Kai Kailua.
Hawaii Kai. I don't know what station it was, but I know Jimmy the
Hawaii
Geek.
Kai, you sure?
Yeah, so she was. I don't know if that he was in
Because
that
I
building
mean,
or,
our Extreme Radio was in Kailua, and
but
that's
I think he was in another radio station or
is
he
it
was
Hawaii
in
Kai?
where shoot the marina.
But
The
there's a studio
I'm not
there.
sure if there's a studio
Yeah,
there, but I
there was a
know that
recording studio, but
he.
I don't know what radio
So my
station.
mom, I remember Jimmy the Geek because of that. Because
He could have been
then
recording. He
or
could have been
maybe
recording, because they're the
recording,
three local boys. But he
right?
was the one that he vouched for me to try bring me into the station. He used to take me in late at night, show me
And
stuff,
now
and
he's doing the
introduce me.
sports cast of it.
Yeah, yeah, that was. I mean,
He
I'm
went
so
away
happy.
though, right? He went away for a little while and then he
Yes, he went
came
to
back.
Arizona, live Arizona,
Right.
and then he came back, and um, he was, he
Jimmy
always
the
wanted to do
Geek.
sports casting. So I'm
Yeah.
happy he's following his passion, and he's still in radio doing what he
Right.
does. But he gave me that. I always tell people this, man. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
And what I mean is, you don't use people. You treat people. You treat people how you would want to be treated. I always would tell my staff, you treat celebrities like regular people. You take regular people like celebrities. Shouldn't be the difference. Should be like,
Right.
oh, there's The Rock. Oh, treat him all nice. Oh, there's Joe Blow, and no, you treat people the same, because you never know who that person is. You never judge a book by its cover. You treat everybody with respect, dignity, and empathy. always, because you never know. And I've got that many, many times. People would come back, CEOs of companies, real estate millionaires, come back and say, I remember. That's what they tell me. You are so kind to me. Like
Yeah.
you was Kutmaster Spaz, you the epitome, and you were nice to me. Like you didn't have to give me the. They tell me stuff. I was like, I did that. They tell me, bro, you autographed one CD for me and you gave it to me. We, was me and my mom. We didn't have money. I didn't have money, but I really looked up to you. And you signed the CD and you mailed it to me. Like, and the postage wasn't cheap. Like you mailed me a CD with your autograph. I still have it. I'm
Nice.
holding. And this guy went on to produce, like he's a producer in LA, and like he's doing things, you know what I mean? I was like, wow, I did that. Like, oh, you the man now, But my point in teaching my students, more important than being a teacher to my students, I'm a mentor and telling them that this is life lessons, man. You cannot just, oh, that guy, he dressed nice, he must be rich. Let's be nice to him. Oh, that guy in t-shirt and shorts. Nobody. I
Right.
tell everybody that story that you go in Starbucks and you see this guy in this nice business suit, and you see this guy in this town and country shirt and shorts, and um you would think the guy with the suit, but the guy with town and country, he owned town and country.
Yeah.
He owned town and country, you know what I mean? So you just
Ball
never
out.
know.
You just never know.
You
That's
never
right.
know, bro. You never know. And even you just you keep it humble. And I know you're successful now. And I kept it the same way, and try to treat
Right.
people, and that's what has helped me. Alan Arato, he still does marketing for Mai Tais and many other events and stuff. He was with Uncle Tom a long time. He was able to get me in the clubs. I tried to get in the clubs, but I guess coming dressing in a nice tie and suit and giving a mixtape and application, it's not what you know. When the manager later told me, "Oh yeah, I threw away your application. Your mix was good." I go, "Why you never hire me?" He's like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know you." But Alan called me one call and said, "Hey, they put my boy on." I was working with him at another job, Rising Star. Debbie Ige, she was the owner of Rising Star Recording Studio, and I learned so much from her as a woman business
Right.
owner. The way she ran, she taught me about a lot of businesses will treat their employees. That's what you are. You're my employees. But she was one that treated all her employees like family.
Right.
All her employees was family. And so I kept that philosophy in what I did through the years. And I have had loyal people around me. I surround
Right.
me with loyal people. I mean, I draw a line. There's a line of professionalism. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
But for me, my first thing is you don't, everybody in the company is brother, sister. We're not dating.
Right.
No fraternizing. That I hold that policy strong, because once you get that, it gets weird. It's a weird dynamic. There's favoritism, and then there's it just gets pretty nuts after that if it does a breakup. But these are key people, and I just kept on learning my
Right.
business smarts. I learned from my mom.
Nice.
So a lot of key people.
So what did your mom do for like living or work? She stay at home mom, or she?
Okay, so she was working at American Express when I was a baby, and I don't know if she did because I was a baby. And then when she had my sister, she was a stay-at-home mom a little bit. And when I was delivering newspaper, my area advisor, who they had different area advisors for different blocks in Kaneohe or wherever, all over the islands and state. And the area advisor went on vacation, or couldn't do her job, so she asked my mom, "Hey, it's part-time, it's really easy to do this." So my sister started going to school, so she started doing that. She became the area advisor. And again, the mentality of under promise, over deliver. My mom worked really hard.
Wow.
When she left, she took over the role of area advisor. They saw what she did. She became assistant director of circulation at Sunpress midweek, and
Nice.
eventually became the director. Like she ran
Wow.
Sunpress midweek. She was the director. Like she circulation. So her job was to make sure it gets out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's the publisher, of course, who's the big boss, and then the sales manager. But she was the one that made sure it got out
Mhm.
to the people and stuff like that. So
Wow. So your mom was a big mentor, and then these other people that you mentioned you think um they shaped you to who you were, or like I know you were saying in your book about not listening to other people, like your parents or your family or your friends trying to tell you, oh, you should be that because you know you're doing this and you should become this person. And
I took what I needed, and this guy GB, he's another mentor, marketing genius of mine. He's the one who helped me, Jeebs, and he said,
Jeeps.
when people talk, they're gonna say plenty stuff, but it's up to you to sift what gonna work for you. Not everything
Mhm.
gonna work for you. So listen, be slow to talk, quick to listen and take what away what can help you. So yes, I mean, my mom can admit this. I remember when I was a junior, I was going to be up going to the summer. I was going to be a senior. She came up to me and she said, "Okay, what you gonna be when you graduate from high school?" I said, "Mom, I told you I'm gonna be a DJ." And she's like, "No, like what job is it?" "I'm gonna be a DJ." She said, "No, that's a hobby. What is a career?" "Mom, I'm gonna be a DJ." She's like, you're gonna want to get a car, you want to get a house, you're gonna get a girlfriend and a wife. How you gonna support them DJing? Yes, yes. And she's like, so she was one of the naysayers, like, 'cause she didn't understand because this
Right.
is non-traditional being a DJ, being an entrepreneur. I didn't even know
Right.
what that was at the time. But I had a plan, and that's one thing I learned from my mom was, you know, dream big, but have a plan.
Right.
Because if you a dream without a plan is just a dream.
Right.
So you can dream all day, but you got to put a plan in place. So I started making my plans, and to this day, man,
But you took action too, though,
yeah,
right?
action. Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. I mean, conceive your dream,
Right.
believe. You gotta believe in yourself. That's taking action. But believe and put a plan in place and achieve by putting the work in. Yeah. So conceive, have your dream, believe in yourself, and achieve by putting the work in. Man, you got to put the work in.
Yeah,
So
man.
I mean, that I got that from my mom. So I take like a lot of people along the way, and I'm truly grateful. And like I said, to this day, I'm always learning and always try to be slow to talk, quick to listen,
Right.
because once you think you know it all, then you're wrong already. You're not the
Right.
hardest working man in the room. You're the dumbest.
Okay. Yeah. So one thing I usually ask my guests, what is one thing you can leave for our audience on some type of way or a saying that can kind of inspire them to, get to the next level.
Well, I mean, I think to conceive, believe, and achieve, which I just said, but
Right.
um, find your passion.
Hmm.
Find your passion and how to monetize it. You know what I mean? Because you gotta do what you love. I
Right.
mean, money. If you're gonna chase the money, you're not gonna be
Yeah.
happy. You're gonna go for it because you think that your money's passion. It's not your passion. That's your means. Find your passion and follow that and make it work. Because I always tell people this: I'd rather make pennies doing something I love than make millions doing something I hate. And
Right.
I've done it, and I got sick and everything. I just didn't like it. Um, Putting in the work, man. You,
Hmm.
you gotta you gotta under promise, over deliver. Say
Right.
you can do this, but you go over and beyond. Your character is who you are, but putting in the work. I mean, have your plan, put your plan in place, and put in the work. And
Right.
sometimes it's free, you know what I mean? But you just got to keep on believing. And the that's all I can say is conceive. I mean, get that what you want to do, find that conceiving that passion, believe. You gotta believe in yourself, because at the end of the day, you gotta know nobody coming for you.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna open the door for you, bro.
Yeah. It's not
No,
gonna get handed to
no,
you, man.
no. You gotta believe in yourself.
Right.
Because I had to do. I had said my own mom telling me, "No, you're not gonna do this." My dad, before my dad passed, he was like, "Bruh, you the kind of you slow, you discoordinated, you uncoordinated. How you gonna do this, bro? You gotta DJ. I watched Uncle Tom back in the day. He on the mic, he pushing the button, he playing the record, he changing the record, playing, and he doing all this. You can't even wash dishes and talk." So you know what I mean, like. But he just was. My dad would be keeping it real. He's
Right.
OG. So keeping it real. So my own parents didn't understand, but I believe in myself. I knew. I said,
Right.
I'm gonna make it big. I'm gonna work hard, and I had to work 3 times as hard.
Right.
So to leave your audience is, dream big, make a plan, and put the work in. That's the end of the day.
Right.
And be the hardest working person in the room, 110%. Be at 10% difference. You put in 100, I put in 110. That's what we do. You know what I mean? Level
Yeah.
up.
Awesome, bro. I'm so stoked that you reached out back again to
Mhm.
me on TikTok. So I just wanted to, tell everyone if they, how they can find this book, so they can read this book, which is super inspiring on how Spaz, from his head to the book. I mean, that must have been a challenge in itself
It
too.
was that book. I mean, I know it's not no novel, but it took 10 years to write. It took 10 years to write, and
It
there's
ain't easy.
23 life lessons. The book is built where I tell a story of something that happened to me, and the next page. So it's a short read. You can
Right.
read them in the bathroom if you like. But anyway, you read the story and then a life lesson, because it's never a loss. It's always a lesson. So it's an easy read. You can get on Amazon, look for Cutmaster Spaz or Sped to Success.
Right.
Or if you like get them now, you can go to Logos Books in Ward in Honolulu.
Right.
Logos Bookstore, Christian Bookstore. Ask for Cutmaster Spaz, Sped to Success. Looks exactly like this. And I'm so blessed because I don't know if you know, but my son Jojo
Yeah,
Flo
get
now.
Joe and say Jojo
Yeah,
right your
Jojo,
picture
my
of him.
son, when I started
Right
writing this
on.
book, he was 7. He was 7. And I was trying to think, how can I illustrate this? By the time I finished the book, he was 17 and he was into photography. I mean, he's in the same interest, but he's blazing his own trail. So he took all the pictures for this. So this is one project we did together, father-son project. And now I feel like his career is almost like a father son, because I just love,
Yeah.
it's weird because he used to help me carry speakers. Now I carry his speakers. So he's blazing his own trail. I mean, he has his own company at 19 years old, Jojo Flow LLC. He DJs. I think in a year or two, he's probably going to be the king of proms, meaning like
Nice.
most sought after, because he understands what they want, the
Right.
trends,
The
what
new music.
the new
Yeah.
stuff to play, what to play, when to play it. I mean, he plays songs like, "Oh, what is this stuff?" But he knows what they like. So a lot of people are going after JojoFlow.com for
Yeah, Jojo.
or at DJ Jojo Flow for proms. I mean,
Right.
I think he has like 10 this season, and he's just starting to get started in doing proms and stuff. But Logos Books, Amazon,
Yeah.
to get
Yeah, and also, share where they can find you on social media platforms.
on
Asking.
IG. It's Spaz Cutmaster. If you see Cutmaster Spaz or the real Cutmaster, that was my accounts, but I got locked out. I got locked out because I got locked out of my old email. It was spaz at hawaii.rr.com. Roadrunner does not exist anymore. So if you have that, you want to change to Gmail, because if you have Roadrunner email, like spaz at hawaii.rr.com, get out of that, because there's no help center. If the
Right.
thing shut down, or you get locked out, you forget your password,
You're
there's no
out.
help center. It doesn't
Right.
exist. It's just floating out there. So I got locked out of my account. So spaz at Spaz Cutmaster IG. Everything else is at Cutmaster Spaz. So Facebook, X, all that stuff at Cutmaster, YouTube, and stuff like that.
Nice. Right on, bro. Thank you for coming on the show.
You're very
Appreciate you
welcome.
coming. You definitely a super inspired person to me. I know we got something planning for you guys coming soon. Spaz is a mentor to me. He had a show, and we're thinking of doing something together, collaborating, and
As I've been saying, what's next?
something's
Something's
coming.
next.
Something's
The Fuzzy
coming.
and Spazzy Show.
So crazy to be able to collab with you on something that we can also work together to help our community.
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, so if you like this show, please like and subscribe. If you know anybody that'd be interested in watching more of this kind of shows, please share this content with them. But again, like, subscribe, and press that button.
Yes, sir.
And aloha. Mahalo for watching. Cutmaster Spaz in the house.
Hey, my locals, if you enjoyed this episode and you got a lot out of it, man, check this out. We got more platforms for you to follow, which is Puka Pockets, and we'll see you on the journey. Aloha.